Today in Fortnite's newest update, I don't really know why Fortnite did this, but Fortnite buffed SMGs, as if they weren't strong enough. These things just got buffed. Now, for those who don't know, the SMGs this season are actually a little bit interesting, because they take a while to reload, but they're really fun to use for the 30 bullets that you got in them. So, personally, I haven't even been carrying a shotgun this season. I've just been running dual SMG, because honestly, it's really fun to have a lot of tracking aim and just absolutely laser people. Now, what's interesting about today's update, for those who don't know, there was an update today, and in this update, Fortnite made a very tiny change, but I think that this is actually going to have big consequences. Now, when you actually go ahead and try to reload an SMG, let's just use out the entire magazine. You guys can see that you go through the standard reload process. But what Fortnite did today is they made it so that when you're reloading your SMG, the amount of time it takes to actually finish your reload is a lot shorter. Now, that may sound weird, but basically, when you used to reload your gun, let's just shoot it back to halfway of the magazine. Pay attention to this area right in the center of the screen. When we actually go ahead and reload, you used to have to wait for that entire bar to fill out before you could swap off your SMG or start firing with it again. But now, let's actually take a look at it. If we actually go ahead and begin to reload, our SMG actually finishes right about there. Let's see if I can get it perfectly. But as you guys can see there, the bar didn't finish. So this may seem like an incredibly small update, but in reality, this is actually a giant buff to the gun. This allows you so that when you're boxed up in a fight, instead of having to wait for that entire bar to finish reloading, all you need to do is listen for that sound effect of you pulling back the trigger on the SMG, and you will be able to reload at least half a second quicker. Now, again, that may not sound like a lot to some of you, but to any of you who are playing competitively, who are actually playing Fortnite, like trying to go pro, this is a major change because it gives you that extra half a second in a fight. And as we all know, nowadays with how much people build, that half a second can be the difference between getting 2 more shots on them for 60 damage or the difference between completely whiffing and then them one-pumping you. So this change isn't really for the mass player base. A lot of you guys will never actually feel the effect of this change, but for a lot of the top tier players in Fortnite, I figured I'd just make this video because it honestly is a really big buff to the gun, as it allows you to just swap off it much quicker and even start shooting earlier. Now, what's interesting is you still need to actually wait for the bar to complete if you want to continue firing your SMG, but let's actually see if this is quicker. Let's go ahead and hit a reload, and then once it gets there, yeah, I think that's actually quicker. Once you actually get to that spot in the reload where it's almost done, you can swap off the gun and swap back to it, and I'm fairly sure that that's actually quicker than waiting for the entire bar to run out. So this is a pretty high-level mechanic thing to do, so if you actually pull this off in any of your games, then just leave a comment down below, because honestly, it's a pretty high-level mechanic, but it's honestly a really neat one, and I think that it's cool that Fortnite added this in, because it's a little bit of a buff to the SMG for the higher level players, while still also keeping it fairly balanced to the lower level players who are just casual. And hey, I'm not insulting you guys at all. I suck with this gun, so I'm probably never even going to pull this off in game. But for those pro players out there that are trying to get that little bit of an advantage in their fights, just figured that I'd mention this. You can now actually reload the SMG a tad bit faster. But if you guys actually did enjoy this video, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys in the next one.